Here are the 4 things that must be present to confirm that a housing crash or a housing bubble pop is imminent. Number 1 is we need to have an oversupply of inventory, or inventory is maintained with significantly falling demand. Case in point, at the beginning of 2017, we had over 3 million houses for sale. Today, we have 400,000 active listings for sale. So, we have a significant decrease in the amount of supply, and we have more demand. The reason why I like to bring this up is people say, oh, well, guess what? With rising interest rates, Brian. Okay, first off, mortgage interest rates are still low. They're around 4%. When we had a housing crash last time, interest rates were 7%. Okay, 7% versus 4%. Yes, they're raised from 2.5% to 4%, but that's not going to do anything psychologically. Not until we get interest rates in the 5% range does it really actually start to psychologically affect a homeowner and their ability or desire to purchase that home. Because you also have to think the second factor, which is affordability. There has to be a significant lack of affordability. And yes, are affordability numbers worse than they were 3 or 4 years ago? Yes. In many markets, they're significantly worse. But in lots of other markets, they're not. There are some major job growth and wage markets across the United States. For an example, here in Riverside County, California, our wages increased 13% year over year. We are one of the 10 fastest growing job markets for wages in the entire country. And yes, home prices went up 20%, but guess what? You don't use 100% of your income to pay for your house. So job wages will never match home price appreciation. Simply put this, I hear all the time, home prices went up 20%, Brian. Wages only went up 6%. That's a 14% difference. Well, no kidding. They will never match that. Because guess what? If somebody was earning $8,000 a month, and at $8,000 a month, they got, let's say, a 5% raise. Okay, so they're making an additional $400 a month. Now let's say their house payment was $2,500. And let's say their house payment went up 20%. Okay, they only got a 5% raise, but their house payment went up 20% 4 times. Guess what? Their mortgage payment went up $500 a month. Their wages went up $400 a month. That's only a $100 difference, but it's put in the news, oh my gosh, wages went up 5%, house prices went up 20%. Oh my gosh, that's 4 times more expensive difference. No, it's not how you do it, because you're not using 100% of your wages. So simply put, if wages went up 5% and house prices increased by 10%, so people's payments went up by 10%, let's say, you're still actually becoming more affordable. Think about that again. If somebody's wages went up 5%, $8,000 a month, that rose $400 a month for their wage, they got $400 a month hike, and their mortgage payment, let's say, went up 10%, went from $2,500, went up 10%, which is $250. Every single one of you guys on camera, if I was like, hey, here's $400 more per month, but I'm raising your mortgage payment $250. Do you want that? You're like, yeah, of course I want that. It's an extra $150 a month. But yet, it's not explained that way in the news. Number 3 is the type of financing being done is significantly declining in quality. What we had when I was originally in the market, you had almost 70% of all of the loans that were being issued between about 2004 and 2006 were non-conventional loans. These were loans meaning that the income and the verifications of income were not being done to the guidelines set by Fannie Mae. And what you have understand is when you have very flexible lending guidelines, you have people getting qualified for mortgages that they can never really afford. So when you had about between 6 and 7 out of every 10 mortgages being done through using non-conventional loans, that means you had 60 to 70% of all mortgages not being verified in the same way they're being done today. Whereas nowadays, it's completely flopped. You almost have 80% of all mortgages being issued that they are being done through conventional or FHA or VA loan terms, meaning that income is being verified multiple ways: pay stubs, W-2s, transcripts. So the actual quality of underwriting is 5 and 6 times better than what it was. And this is somebody who spent 16 years in the industry. I know, I was on that end of it. So the type of borrower we are qualifying is far more qualified than what it was. And then the last component is the type of homes the average individual is buying. So right now, you have roughly in the ballpark range of about 17% of all homes being purchased as non-owner occupied by non-institutional clients, meaning regular day people, right? So that means you have about 18% of all homes that somebody are buying, me and my wife would be buying as an investment property. It means 80% of homes being purchased by individuals are being purchased as their primary home. Well, why does this matter? Because in 2005 and 2006 and 2007, it got as high as almost 40% of all homes sold were being sold as rental properties, meaning speculative in nature, meaning couples were buying their first rental property, or their second rental property, a third rental property, and they were able to do this with very, very low down payment loans, 5% down, 10% down rental property loans in multiple properties without having good income qualifications. And so think about that. We have now 50% less of those types of homes are being purchased, and then we have much stricter criteria qualifying those people. So do I think that price is going to continue to go up at the route it is? No, I think probably 70% of all the markets in the US are going to probably get a 3 to 5% appreciation. I think about 15% of the markets in the US will get double-digit appreciation this year. And then I'll think about another 15% probably will have a double-digit price decline this year. And it's important that you understand that the United States is made up of a bunch of micro housing markets. The Riverside County market is very different from the Phoenix market, which is very different from the Columbus, Ohio market, which is very different from the Tyler, Texas housing market, which is very different from the Anchorage, Alaska housing market. So making a uniform decision saying we are in a housing bubble is just simply a reason why people want you to click on their thumbnail and they can do nothing but spread FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt as clickbait views. We have such a shortage of supply of homes out there. We have institutions buying 1 out of every 5 houses on the market to turn into rental properties. We have a growing population. We still have very low interest rates, high underwriting standards. We have people wanting to buy primary homes, which if you run into hard times, the last thing you're doing is selling your primary home. You're getting rid of all of your rental homes way before you're ever getting rid of your primary home if you get under financial concerns. And so you guys need to understand that no, the market is not going to go up forever. It's going to see some slower appreciation levels. But you need to understand the 4 factors that actually cause a housing bubble to burst, and that is an oversupply of homes compared to demand. That is poor lending standards, a lack of conventional loans being issued. That is a significant lack of affordability. And that is lastly, a huge amount of speculation by mom and pop individual investors trying to become real estate investors through low down payment, lack of quality underwritten loans. So if you guys want more videos like this breaking down the market, please tag somebody below that needs to hear this, whether that's a real estate agent or whether that's your next door neighbor, because the only way we get the real facts spread is through you.